Helps if I unmute my mic. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Jonnychipz in Conversation With. This week we are live. So my name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and in this video series we talk about all things cloud with experts and advocates across the tech industry, covering a vast array of topics from skills and careers through to technical know-how videos and personal thoughts and opinions. So whether you're watching this on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter or LinkedIn, thanks so much for tuning in. Please do take part in the chat. We are live. Drop us a comment, say hello, like and subscribe to the channel. It really is appreciated. So, like I say, welcome to this live episode of In Conversation With, a little bit of a break from the usual pre-recorded show. So I'm super excited, really, to welcome back for his second airing on this show, a friend, an ex-colleague, a Microsoft Cloud advocate, a community leader, a blogger, a vlogger, and a tech architect working at CDW. So he's here today to discuss a plethora of things from community organization, live streaming and content creation, as well as taking questions from the chat. And obviously we're trying out this new live event. So for me and my guest is going to be a first for us. So welcome to this live episode of In Conversation With Mr. Dean Ellerby. Hey Dee, we made it. How's it going?
We did. That's got to be your longest intro yet, right? I've watched a lot of
far
them.
off.
None of them have been that long. That was a ramble. Well done.
Do you know, I just realised the first problem with actually what we're doing at the moment. And
Go
it
on.
really is, you know, I can't hear a word you're saying at the minute, Dean. So what I'm trying to do is just keep talking until the thing that's going on stops going on.
Right.
So
fine.
now you can speak.
If you could lip read, would that be all right? Would lip reading help?
Well, yeah.
I'll
Right, I can hear you now. Right. So what's going on? And what I'm going to do is I'm actually now going to try to turn my phone off. This is a great start. So you'll notice that I've got a new pair of headphones on there, the wireless Bose headphones.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Is that a drop? Is it?
Yeah, well, there we go. We'll tag them in the comments below and get it tweeted out then. No problem, Bose.
Yeah,
if you're looking to send any gear my way. Anyway, these are connected to my phone, and do you know what happens when somebody rings you on a phone? It cuts out all audio. So there's first rule of live streaming 101: make sure you're not connected to your phone whilst you're doing this show. Anyway, Dean, how's it going?
Fantastic. Thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. Yeah, I mean, this is an impromptu episode of this. We talked about doing another show. Obviously, you were my numero uno guest on this series way back at the beginning of January. Yeah, so obviously, it's great to kind of get you back on the show. So much has happened over the last sort of 9 or 10 months, hasn't it? So what you've been up to? What you've been up to?
It's an honour to be back. I mean, I was going to say on your show, but I mean, it's more than a show now, isn't it? It's an institution. What you've got here, this is essentially everything I've been watching for the past 9 months, really, since you started doing this every week, 6:30, sometimes 7:30 when you used to delay the YouTube version because I'm more of a YouTube person, as you know. But I remember when you asked me to come on camera. Just have a chat in January. I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can have a chat on camera. I do it a lot. Massive journey, though. Well done.
Well, I mean, for both of us, I think it's for both of us. It's fair to say. So it's it's been one heck of a journey, I suppose. And obviously we got a few things going on now, and kind of part of the reason why I guess we're doing this live show because we're currently streaming out across 2 YouTube channels. 2 Twitter feeds, a LinkedIn account, Twitch. We're kind of crossing the boundaries here as much as we possibly can, really just to try these things. And, much as I've had a bit of a journey, Dean, you've had a very similar journey. So, I mean, part of this show is obviously as a guest, we get on, as you know, we talk about things in the community, we talk about things in tech, in general, what's going on. But I think with you, there's probably, I mean, just before we went live, we were kind of talking about the areas, weren't we? And there was probably at least a dozen different things we could kind of talk through at the moment. So I think to make this a relatively coherent show, obviously we're looking for, obviously feedback from the chat. You can see we got the chat on the screen there, which, I can kind of show and hide at a whim because, that's what this technology is all about. But yeah, let's start somewhere, Dean. So, what have you been up to for the last 9 months? What's going down? You're running the cloud management community, which for those people that are watching it on that YouTube channel, that'll explain why we're going out across there. So tell us a bit about that. What's that been like for you?
That must be incredibly confusing for everyone who is subscribed to the cloud management community to see Jonnychipz live all over the screen. So thanks for persevering if you did. Yeah, I mean, you say running the community, it's a massive team effort, to be honest. Dan, Andy, and Simon, so much goes on in the background on these events. It is ridiculous, and obviously all the speakers that take part. So it is a massive team effort. It's certainly not just me. I just do the talking head bit at the start. But no, it has been a massive journey for me as well. We started out with this conversation pretty much, although I was a lot more wet behind the ears. What's the phrase when you have no idea what you're getting yourself into? When you launched me,
green.
You launched me into being shared across Twitter and LinkedIn and stuff, and I certainly wasn't ready for that. But it helped, and I'm now a bit more comfortable with it and enjoying it. So yeah, thank you very much.
But is there ever a time? Is there ever a time that you're ready though, Dean?
No, I mean, I think it definitely was the only way I could possibly have done it, and I was obviously keen to get on the show and stuff. That's why I said yes. But yeah, it has been a roller coaster. So yeah, thanks for that.
Well, it's all you, Dean. So yeah, what's been going on in and around the cloud management community? Because I know you've changed it up a bit over the last month or so with obviously the virtual meetups. Tell us a bit about that. What have you been up to now, the last sort of meetup, and where are you going?
Well, we tried to just mix it up a bit, to be honest, because we realized that we just weren't getting the right mix of engagement, to be honest. Teams was all right. We got a lot of people chatting and stuff, and it was quite good. But I felt that we could do it a little bit different. So I had a chat with the team, and we agreed on sort of streaming to YouTube. Turns out, in order to stream to YouTube at the right quality to see a screen, you need 1080p, and that was a license to restream, which meant we could then stream to Twitch and Twitter and LinkedIn. So we thought, let's do it. Let's do this properly. And now we're streaming to all those as you are here. The same kind of technology doing this. So yeah, it is a very different approach, but just mixing things up, really trying to get as many people involved as possible, because it's fun, isn't it? It's all about the community. We're not a closed group. We're not private. It's all public. So yeah, that's what it's all been about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, obviously people that join the cloud management community, you've had some awesome speakers on there for the last few months. So when did you start it? Was it around February, March time? Was it before then?
I think we started doing the YouTube channel a little bit before. We started the YouTube channel in February, and I think the first meetup might have been July or August, or maybe even earlier. It might have been June. One of the team might know. But yeah, it hasn't been very long. We've only had 5 or 6, but you're right. We've picked the guests very well. They've been incredible. That isn't going to stop. We've got some incredible ones coming up as well. We've actually switched to 2 per month now, so every couple of weeks, the 2nd Tuesday and the 4th Tuesday, and really that's just to give the speakers the show for themselves. They're here doing a talk, and when you sort of put one after the other, when they're main events, 45 minutes, it's quite a long slog for the audience and certainly for the team to keep that going, and then you've got one speaker waiting for the other to finish it. We thought, let's just span it out. Let's do one on a Tuesday, one on a 2nd Tuesday, one on the 4th Tuesday, and yeah, just give them the whole show. So on next week, we've got Teleprompter, who is going to be talking about security, role-based access control in Intune, which is something that I know exists and I talk about with customers, but I've never really found a need for it. And I think hopefully Tysh is going to be able to show, one, how easy it is to do, hopefully, and then secondly, why it's really important. So that's going to be good. And really, I use these events to learn. That's really, I get the speakers who are going to be talking about the stuff that I don't know or I'm interested in. Like last week, we had Joy talking about fixing hybrid autopilot because I hate hybrid autopilot, and he had a fix for it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think one thing leads to another, doesn't it? Like you say, you kind of go off, you arrange these kind of, obviously over the last 18 months, there's been a lot of virtual events going on. I think lots of people have kind of had a bit of virtual burnout. I think, me included, it's just been, pretty relentless, I guess, on all fronts. I mean, notwithstanding the content has been absolutely superb. It's just, only so many hours that you can kind of sit and stare at a screen. And I get what you mean by that kind of 2-speaker thing on a virtual event. I think is probably, I mean, dependent on the person, obviously. But yeah, I get it. If it's always a tricky thing, isn't it? Do you kind of get two speakers of a similar kind of theme? Do you kind of mix the themes up so your audience changes? There's lots of, whether people listening understand it or not, there's lots of thought that actually goes into these kind of events from that perspective. Because, from the Welsh Azure user group perspective, obviously we've had a similar thing. And, obviously, in-person events, we're going to go and do one of those now next week. We're going to do our first in-person event. So that kind of changes up that whole dynamic again, which, I know, Dean, you're going to come down to. And I'm sure we're both going to take some interesting learnings from that.
I'm really looking forward to that. As soon as that went live, as soon as you mentioned that was going to be a thing, I booked a hotel and got myself ready for the 3.5-hour drive. I am, I'm really looking forward to that. Not only to meet up with you for an actual reason, but the speakers that you've got. I've forgotten. It's Chris Reddington and
Kirk. Yeah.
Kirk Ryan. Yes. I've been following them since day one on Twitter, so they're maybe I shouldn't meet them because they are actually my idols. Yeah, but that's going to be incredible. And I really, I've been doing this for 6 or so 9 months now, and I've learned how to do speaking from people like yourself, from Chris, from Kirk, from the speakers that have joined the CMC shows, and they've all been virtual. I've not been to an in-person talk where I've been looking at the speaker, trying to understand how they're talking. Whereas now I'm thinking we're going back to in-person events. I'm going to need to be able to adapt between virtually talking to a camera like I am right now, which is a massively difficult thing to not see your face because you're down here and I'm not staring at you. To be able to talk to an audience, who do you look at? Because they're right there. They can see you. You can't make eye contact with them all. It's going to be a completely different thing that I'm going to have to learn. So I'm going to learn from the people I respect and the experts.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and it's kind of like a nice little cadence off into some of the other topic areas that we got to talk about this evening. Obviously, is video production. We're now on a live stream. We've now got what I think there's 10 a dozen users across all the different platforms currently watching us. So if you are watching us, say hello. I can see a few people are saying hello in the chat, but even comments like that, you saying you're staring at the screen. I'm looking at the camera now, but, occasionally when I do these videos, I don't tend to stare at the camera constantly. I just kind of go off naturally into a conversation with the guest. Now and again, when I'm listening, I will stare at the camera, obviously for that eye contact. But like you say, if you've got the video image off to the left or right-hand side, then it feels strange, doesn't it? It takes some getting used to. And you're right. I think an in-person event is going to be a whole strange experience, to be honest, because like you say, you're there. I don't know if you've frozen on me, Dean, or if your Starlink has gone down. I reckon it's your Starlink because you had a few glitches.
Could be my Starlink.
Oh, Dean, you might have to.
I've dropped down to 70 kbps, which is not an ideal amount of upload.
I'll try and refresh you. I'll see if I can kickstart you. See, is your camera frozen? Is it? Oh, there we go. See, Dan is correct. Your camera has broken, and this is the beauty of these kind of live events. Yeah, I can see you there. You are completely frozen.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. It dropped down the upload because it wasn't sending any changing picture because my camera had stopped. Starlink for once wasn't to blame, right?
But this is, obviously this is the fun thing with when I do these shows. They normally are pre-recorded for those kind of things because look, these are the technical gremlins that creep in and stop us all. And even now, with watching the comments and doing these live streams, this isn't really it is a live stream, but it's like meant to be an in conversation with episode, which is meant to be taking people through a bit of a journey to talk around some of the ideas and thoughts that we've had and things that we've done. So I mean, we're on to video production, Dean.
But so just on that point, sorry, you had the option at the start of this, maybe half an hour before we started, and we said, well, you can either press record and launch this later on, or you can press live and get some interaction with some people. And let's press live, and we've got a few people talking in chat. If they've got any comments or feedback, it is and just helped with the problem we had. I think live. There's no reason not to go live. Certainly at this point in what we're doing. But yeah, you're right. We're on to video.
There is there is, Dean, and it's Starlink. That's the whole reason that you probably want to go live, go pre-recorded rather than live.
I don't think so.
But anyway,
so I mean, my Starlink has better upload and download than my BT line does, and we saw that when I was using my BT line earlier on.
See, we can do all this kind of stuff in live streams.
And it was better on Starlink. And yeah, the camera died. Give me a break. This is live.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the beauty of video production and live streaming and doing all this kind of stuff as we talk about it. But genuinely, technical problems do occur, and they do occur quite frequently. I think if you watch, unless you're doing a live stream with maybe sharing a desktop, a single camera, all under your control, then I think more often than not that you do get these technical sort of issues dropping in, and again, it kind of depends on everybody that's joining the stream. Are they on Wi-Fi? Are they on cable? What kind of internet connection have they got? Are they uploading? Are they running a Teams client? Are they downloading a gig's worth of data at the same time as trying to send high quality video? There are so many variables to factor into the quality. And look, let's face it, quality isn't necessarily my middle name. I'm just more about trying to learn and play and tweak and change things, obviously. So what about you, Dean? Video production. I know you've been doing some awesome videos with the Cloud Management community lately, had real success. I mean, you've not yet ventured into the world of kind of live streaming yet, have you? Apart from this, and
apart from this, and the monthly events we've been doing for the last 6 months, John. No, so for my own content that I've been doing, no, it's not been live. And there is a reason for that, and I have considered doing it because that's it has been top of mind. But it's the stuff I do is demonstrations, and if you were to sit next to me and watch me do a recording, it takes well over an hour and a half to do a 15-minute video. It's because it never goes right first time. You have to see it work, then record it. Maybe it's a lot of editing, and I don't think it would work very good in a live. Although I might do it, I might move over to that at some point. It's just when a live demo is a pain to do, and it would be awful for someone to watch for people to watch a video and it didn't work.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I've been party to a lot of chats around that. Certainly producing video content like this. There's so many things to learn, and if you're doing it on a specific topic area, then okay, your time may be better off suited trying to produce that actual demo, and maybe do it in a way that, I don't know, whether you kind of factor in a bit of a problem that is actually part of the demo that you work through to show people, like troubleshooting. But equally, when you're trying to do a live stream as well as maybe go through a live demo, things, it's like, what is it, rubbing your belly and patting your head sort of thing, isn't it? There's something that will go wrong, and I found that what they say, men can't multitask, and it's true to a point. I mean, even more so. So when you're doing live stream, you're figuring out what's going on with OBS, or maybe using StreamYard or Restream or one of those other platforms. But then actually the content that you're trying to put out there probably deserves that attention more than the actual platform that you're trying to do. And I think I've gone the other way.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, it's the stuff goes wrong in my videos. At least 30% of my videos that I've put out on YouTube have been me failing to do the thing I intended to do during that video. And because that's how my life has gone, that's how I do work. That's how I see other people work in my day job, not necessarily in my new job, but in my old job, certainly in BT. We did a lot of failing fast. And that's, we try it. If it doesn't work, fine, we move on. That's exactly how I've been doing, how I've been doing these videos, really. And once I've done a 15-minute video, well, once I've recorded it for an hour, if it hasn't quite worked, it was a learning opportunity for me. So I'll just record that, do the editing, and stick it out onto YouTube so other people can either learn from it or tell me where I went wrong. So I certainly don't edit out the failures. I would edit out if I got my password wrong lots. I've done that before, but that's just irritating to watch. But when you click go and it says failed, I'll keep that in because that's interesting.
Oh no, absolutely, and like you say, it's about learning from those failures. So if you're having to figure that out, then why not leave it in the video? So and describe what you're doing to try and work around that problem. So, and yeah, I think those kind of videos have seen quite a lot of success, over the last couple of months, haven't they? The ones that you've been doing. So I mean, it's a really interesting concept, but I think, like you say, I think it comes down to how much time and energy you can put into doing one video. Because I guess for one specific topic area, that could take you, a good few hours over a series of, days, I guess, to kind of pull all that. And it's not just about actually getting the thing working, but then you've got to sift through all the recordings. You've then got to drag them down onto timelines, do the editing. And I mean, it's certainly something that I've started to do a little bit more of recently, in recent times. But more often than not, these shows have been pretty much, not far off one take, maybe pausing for the odd technical difficulty like we had then and remove that from the video just because, we're not here to talk about that, but it just so happens we're going to be talking about live streaming and things. So hopefully people get stuff from it. So, yeah, I mean, there's lots to go into it. So, I mean, I mean, in terms of video production, what about content? How do you get your content ideas? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, just on the dragging stuff into timelines thing that you mentioned, when I first started recording, it was I didn't.
Here we go again. See,
I record every element separate.
Dean, you're dropping again. So I don't know whether it's.
Am I?
It's all right. You're back now. Yeah, you're back now.
Okay.
But you every now and again, I think it says that cluster of satellites travels overhead.
No, it absolutely
goes
could be.
past us.
Yeah. It is all quite dynamic. Sorry. So when I first started recording, I didn't know the best way to do it, so I would record each separate thing separately. So I'd record the screen, I'd record my video, and I'd record the audio separately, and then put them all together in the edit. And that meant that I could choose when I was sort of showing my face and choose when I was talking over a screen, for example, during the edit. And I found that gave me the most control, but it took the most time. I was spending hours and hours and hours recording, doing editing, because it was just so difficult to do, and I didn't have any skills in editing at the time. And then I've moved to, now I've learned how I typically do video recordings. I'll just use OBS and share my screen, and then use a stream. What's the Stream Deck to switch between when I want to talk to the camera, do a bit of explaining, and then switch back to the desktop, and then talk about the desktop. And that's reduced the editing time by hours, really hours. So I'm getting a lot more videos produced now. I've adopted that method.
Well, funnily enough, that's the method that I use to do these videos. Obviously, I can flick between. We'll probably flick over, and you can show us some stuff, about the Cloud Management user group in a second and things like that. But I've now gone over to your way, the way that you started, which is using Camtasia, and only just to kind of see how I got on with it. And you're right, you can kind of record your desktop, record a video, record an audio source, and do you know what? I like the concept of that, because what I've started doing now, I've released probably half a dozen or so videos You frozen on me again, Dean. Are you still there vocally? No, he's gone completely. Oh, look at that. So Dean's going to leave me hanging. I thought you were going to leave me hanging then on a live stream. So I've started using Camtasia, and the ability to kind of, record all of those different sources, store them in a library, drag them onto your timeline, carve them up to suit. I found, at first it was quite a bit of a headful to think, well, actually, what do I want to put on there? How far do I go with the production? Because like you, with OBS, I've got a load of different scenes with lots of different elements and layers that are layered up and motions and transitions. I've now got to recreate those almost in Camtasia, and it's a bit like, but I've actually started using it, and I like it, and I do like it, and it's a different style of video, I found. To the extent that I was laughing at myself with one of the, they talk about, cut out the gaps and cut out the silent spaces, which of course, for me as somebody that rambles quite a lot, there's lots of ums and ahs and gaps. I found it quite funny because as soon as you start to do that, you play it back and you think, my God, that sounds like a YouTube video. Because, it's just 100 mile an hour, do this, and you kind of boom, 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 keep that momentum up in the video, which is quite an interesting thought. One that I've probably not given too much consideration for.
Yeah, there is a proper style of YouTube videos, and you don't realize it when you're recording and when you're creating your own, because every sort of thing you say is what you want to be, heard. You've said a sentence, you want it to go live, but then when you start looking at what YouTubers do, they cut out everything that isn't exactly pertinent to the conversation. Isn't exact this bit, for example. I'm rambling. They cut out a lot more than you would expect, and I cut out probably 75% of the stuff I record, and it just doesn't get aired.
And I found that. And on that note, you've had a question, Dean, from the in-chat audience. So from Mr. Indiana Jones himself.
Wow.
So Dean, do you plan to create one for upgrading CMG? Go on, say again.
For upgrading. So the convert button for me has disappeared. I can't.
But do you want to read the question out? See, this is the thing, Dean. You've got to read the question out first.
I thought you were gonna. Do
that. but you chimed in and cut me off. So, so Dean, question from the chat. We'll cut this bit out.
Yeah, no one will see it.
Right. So right. Can I start now, or? And by the way, Dean, the end of your nose is going yellow, and I think that's OBS Ninja. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think you might have to move around a bit and just put your hand in front of your face to get rid of it.
The things you've got to do on live streams, eh? I don't see PewDiePie doing this.
Dean, you got a question in the chat. So Indiana Jones loves your videos. Do you plan to create one for upgrading a CMG, so that's Cloud Management Gateway, to an Azure VM scale set versus the previous video of deleting and creating?
Yeah. Thanks for the question. So I did plan to do that and went back to do that since creating that video, and it's not possible. I can't do the conversion. The convert button for me has disappeared. And I was speaking to I've forgotten his name. I always forget this guy's name. He's an excellent guy, Paul Winstanley, SCCM mentor. He has done a fantastic blog series with Niall Brady on Cloud Management Gateway, Cloud Attach, all that kind of stuff. And he had a question from someone in his on his blog around that. Why didn't you use the convert, or why did you use the convert rather than deleting and creating? And that person said their convert button has disappeared as well. So Paul's gone away to find out why the convert button may have gone, but for me, it's just not there. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that answers your chat. But I guess you'll do one as soon as you get an answer back on whether that button's going to come back or whether there's, at the end of the day, Dean, that button is just doing something in the background. So can't we just find out what it's doing, what script it's meant to be running? And well, I can't really understand what it is doing because the video I did was quite a lot of work to do the creation of the VM skill set, and you had to do it in different ways to how you would normally do the classic VM. So I don't know what it would be doing. Maybe that's why they've took it off, because it doesn't work. I have no idea.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You got another question there. So from Rakesh, he says, "Hi Dean, I watched a session how I failed at configuring the cloud management gateway, and he set up the CMG the same way." So Rakesh, did you get a failure as well?
Yeah, so on
Whilst you
that,
were
it did. I thought it was all fine, and when I set that up and I recorded a video saying, "Look, I've created the CMG. How good am I?" And then went back to do a video on using it, and it didn't work. So I thought I'd fess up and say, you know what, it didn't work. I just didn't test it all the way through to the end. Like good consultants do. Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's yeah. You used to have a CSP subscription to do VM skill set, but now it's available to normal subs, which is why I can do it, because I haven't got a CSP subscription. But no, it's that was a fun video to do. That was me. As I said, I include the failures in the videos, so that was me just creating a video purely because of a failure, which is taking it to the extreme, I think.
Yeah, but it's back to that point, isn't it, that you're actually trying to, impart. So for those that really want to follow it through from start to finish, obviously it's on the Cloud Management Community YouTube channel now. So go and have a little look see at that if you're interested. So yeah, I mean, in terms of video creation, then Dean, you've obviously basically, it sounds like, and your nose is going green now, but it sounds like you're coming at it from the opposite side that I came at it from. So I started off with OBS and doing the kind of that'll do. Is that a mirror? You powder in your nose, but you started with Camtasia doing the video editing to a certain extent, and now it's kind of that crossover bit. You're trying to use Stream Deck, trying to use OBS and scenes. A bit more to kind of cut down on that editing piece, I guess.
Yeah, well, I started out with DaVinci Resolve, actually. I went the proper extreme side. Camtasia is a walk in the park compared to DaVinci Resolve. You can't. I do a lot of zooming on the text that I'm sort of talking about, because I realize a lot of people are watching my videos on phones and smaller devices, and I don't realize that when I'm putting the video out on a big screen personally. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of zooming, and I spent probably 3 or 4 days of my life learning how to zoom in DaVinci Resolve. It is not an easy thing to do. You can zoom it, but it's a very harsh movement by default. There's no sort of spring to make it a nice viewing experience. And Camtasia, the spring's there by default. So I've wasted 4 days of my life learning how to zoom in DaVinci.
No, well, but that's the fun. That's the fun of it, though, isn't it? I did a video earlier on with just putting funny text things and making them do stuff on the screen and dropping shadows and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, okay, you can have a go. And you're right. Depending on what software you're using, sometimes it's a little bit more complicated. I think those open source, free of charge kind of projects like DaVinci Resolve and certainly GIMP as a video, a photo editing, a graphics utility. I mean, they probably take a little bit of getting used to and a little bit of learning. But yeah, Camtasia seems to be quite nice, I think it's fair to say.
It's just a good blend. Yeah, it's powerful enough, but it's really easy to get into. If you need to zoom, click the zoom button, scale it, all done.
So Dean, I mean, I'm conscious of time, because I'm conscious that we got to try and keep a time limit on these things as well, being that this is a live thing. Did you want to flick over and quickly talk about what you got coming up with the Cloud Management Community before we move on to the last few topics? Because I'm conscious that we kind of skipped that bit.
I would love to.
Right, let's do that then. Talk to us about Cloud Management Community.
So
look, there's us. There's us live.
My screen. Yeah, that is us. Yeah, I could click that and we'll get some kind of Inception thing going on.
Yeah.
So the next one we've got scheduled is, as I said, Thijs Lecomte, who is going to be talking about RBAC. That's on the 4th Tuesday in September. So please come along to that. Fantastic topic, fantastic speaker. And yeah, I mean, then we're into October, which is mind blowing, really. So then we've got the first and second week. The second Tuesday in October and the 4th Tuesday in October. I don't see why that's so hard for me to say. But the first event in October is Shahbaz Dar, and he's going to be talking about the difference between Windows 365 and Azure Virtual Desktop, and giving his views on that, because that is a hot topic. And really, I think I've seen an event, I've seen a talk similar to that in the past, but I want to get him on the show and get asking questions. He's used both of these products now, so it's good to actually properly speak to someone and get an audience with them. So really looking forward to that. He's off to speak at the South Coast Summit shortly after that. So it's a good bit of just time with an MVP. Really, that's what this is all about.
Oh, your desktop's gone now.
My desktop's gone. Look
Oh
at that.
God, we can't get the staff, can we?
Or was that you? Did you do that?
Yeah, that was my bad. You'll be back. You'll be back soon.
Hello.
Yeah, let's just see. Yeah, it's so these are all the benefits of using some form of a video editing software, isn't it? You know, these are the things that get cut out afterwards. But hey ho. Anyway, so how do people sign up for that, Dean? How do we find you on Twitter? All that good stuff. Obviously, people that are watching this clearly have found you somehow.
Yeah, well, I wanted. Sorry, that I was interrupted rudely by the screen falling off. I've got one more event I quickly want to talk about, which is the last event in October, and that is with a colleague of mine and now a superstar. So Donna Ryan from CDW, talking about Winwich, which is the community tool she's produced and has been there for years. Really, I've used it a long time ago. I started using it a long time ago, and I've used it pretty much on every operating system deployment project since. And yeah, that is a fantastic tool. I did a video on it and got some stuff out of it. I sort of followed the documentation and tried to learn as much as I could. But she said she'll come along and show me how it's done and properly use it, how it's meant to be used. So that's Winwich Part 2 is coming on the 4th Tuesday in October. So yeah, how do you sign up? Well, there is our website. So we have a very long URL. Can I zoom in? I can zoom in. Let's put it into chat. So it's CloudManagement.Community. CloudManagement.Community. CloudManagement.
You are.
Community. Just like that in chat.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
cool.
that'll redirect you to this GitHub page, and then we've got the upcoming events. So we have the 28th, the 12th, and the 26th, and you would just click on the event you want to go to, which is obviously all of them, and then wait for the registration page to load, and then just choose one and register, and that's you done. And then you'll be notified by email when we're about to go live, and everyone's happy.
Yeah, and you're going to switch to your BT connection when you do that, yeah?
No, I'm not. No, I'm quite happy with Starlink.
All right, no. Oh, no, I'd be happy with Starlink as well.
Any sponsorship or anything from Starlink, obviously. I'm not exactly selling it very well, but I'm comfortable with Starlink. And you know what? The funny thing is, hilarious thing is, the reason I got Starlink in the first place was because of a poor live stream that I did, not live stream, recording I did with you, actually, a long time ago, when I thought, this is ridiculous. I'd need better internet than this because BT's awful in this area. Yeah,
right. I should have. Hang on. Hang on a minute. What you saying? What are you saying? I haven't got a beep. I don't have a beep.
Sorry. Yeah, we should put a delay on this so you can beep out me. Beep. That's not a beep. What is that? That's a whoosh.
It's not a beep. I got.
BT isn't awful. BT is obviously a fantastic organization doing a lot for the world, really. But the connection I got from BT here was pretty pants, so I thought I'd go to Starlink, and obviously it hasn't helped. But now I have satellite internet, so there you go.
Better the devil you know, eh? Better the devil you know sometimes. But okay, so right, we talked cloud management community. We talked a little bit around video production. Why are you laughing? What are you laughing for?
We've got another comment from Indiana Jones, actually.
Yeah.
And they say they're assuming the VM skill set just gets us off the classic version that will soon not be supported. So and this is the way for the Azure team to make the Azure team happy. When is that classic VM service sort of being deprecated or switched off or not supported, John? Do you know?
I didn't realize CMG was built using a classic VM. Really? Wow.
Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. So that's basically what they're doing, is they're moving to ARM-based resources then.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't know the exact date as to when that's being deprecated, but I think it's a case of it's been one of those things for a number of years now that you kind of, if you are using classic resources, then you kind of want to shift over to ARM. Soon. And to be honest, I've not dealt with many customers that are still running on with classic resources anymore. So yeah, we can obviously look at the date. It should probably be ingrained in my brain, but it's not, because I don't come across it that often.
No, indeed, and it was a big deal. You know, every config manager customer wanting to use the CMG had to use the classic service and turn on all the old classic stuff until August 21. So it's fairly recent that they've made it possible to do VM scale set, which is the not classic version.
Yeah, but I guess that's just the fact that they've updated the deployment of CMG, or whatever the scripted deployment is. It's been set to use scale sets rather than classic VMs. Is that what's happened? Yeah.
Well, you've still got a choice in the interface whether you want to deploy a classic or a scale set. But yeah, there's obviously some automation going on in the background, because you use a wizard to decide what things you want. You set the keys and all that kind of stuff. You should. I've got a great video on it. You should take a look.
Just watch that. Yeah, watch the video. Cool. Yeah. But apparently Indiana Jones is using Starlink as well, so it's working great for him for the last couple of months. Back in April, it was rough. Yeah. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
We'll tag Mr. Musk now and ask him when he's going to sort it out for up north of the UK.
He's not known for his being good at timings, so I wouldn't bother.
Okay. Right, what we're going to talk about next then? We're kind of hitting the 45-minute mark now, Mr. Ellerby.
Well, this has been lovely. I realised you did say that I shouldn't have too many things to talk about because we'd be on for too long. So I'll let you pick the topic.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could talk about, what should we talk about? Let's talk a little bit about, you've got some public speaking engagements coming up, yeah? Mm-hmm. What are they? How did you find them? This is am I right in thinking this is your first technical public speaking gig? Mm-hmm. Or
it's my first non cloud management community and Jonnychipz speaking at all, really. And this is just an actual speaking to an audience that I don't know for Petri. And it is during their one-day endpoint management event. I've retweeted it a few times, so please do have a look. Follow me on Twitter to sign up to that. But that is on the 28th. It's in American time, so it'll be starting at not that far off, to be honest. I think it's west coast, no, east coast.
Yeah, so
it's not too far off.
Cool. Okay, and so what are you going to be talking about?
That is actually it's the CMG. So I don't know why we're just talking about the cloud management.
Well, it all comes down to CMG. Apparently, everything. I probably Can I learn about this? Can I watch one of your videos, Dean?
You really should. So watch the one with the VM skill set, because that's the one that worked. And yeah, so it's about the cloud management gateway. It's about managing hybrid devices on the internet, using cloud management gateway, co-management, Intune. However you want to manage the devices, the concept is that you can choose the best way to do it, and that the talk is essentially going through each of those three methods.
No, that's pretty cool. So I've heard that obviously when it comes to kind of managing those endpoints, if they're kind of Windows devices, then I've heard that that hybrid AD join is really a great way to go. Have you got any views on that, Dean?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so hybrids. It's not my favorite, to be honest. I think maybe 10 years ago it was ideal. But relying on an on-premise domain controller and line of sight to that on-premise domain controller for devices is very last year. I think there's almost no good reason that you can't go cloud for your devices. and just do Azure AD only. And I was speaking to a customer today that was going to do just that. And it's the way Microsoft want you to go. Really, there's the advice and the communication.
And the Starlink dropping out again.
Have been very.
Your Starlink dropped again, Andy, just as you
have been very.
I think it was just because I could see your head starting to get red and steam and things like that. So, but on that point, Dean, I remember having a chat with you probably about 10 years ago, where we were talking about this very subject. I remember sat in a local. We were away somewhere in a pub beer garden. We were, as you do, we were talking about this very concept. Drinking coffee, of course. We'll always drink coffee. And it's just funny, isn't it, how kind of business still hasn't switched on to the points that you kind of have been making over the recent times.
Yeah, indeed.
I personally, I've refrained from making comment on that because I think, that there are reasons, but it's not the reasons that are anything technical, I think is the reality. Do you know what I mean? In terms of...
Spoken like a true architect.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe it is, but it's more about that hearts and minds thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, people can't be rushed to a point that they feel uncomfortable. So therefore, you can use this tool in the kit bag that will make you feel a bit more comfortable till you're ready. And for me, that's all hybrid AD join's about at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's the way it's been communicated. It's just meant it's got people thinking that this is the stepping stone to get to cloud because cloud is too far away. And that was even the way they were talking about it in Ignite a few years ago. That this is your stepping stone. Go hybrid, then go cloud. Don't just go cloud.
Yeah, but again, Dean, I think it's a lot of this overutilization of the word hybrid. I think comes into play because what you mean as hybrid is different to what the next person thinks is hybrid, and that's a problem. It's a lot of miscommunication over. We've got hybrid identity, hybrid domain join, we got hybrid services, everything's hybrid at the minute. And I think you just got to be a little bit pedantic and actually say what are we actually talking about now, which bit of hybrid. So
in my last video, I said the word hybrid is overused generally in the world, never mind in this specific technology. Hybrid cars, there's petrol and diesel and full electric. Those are the two ends of the spectrum. And you've got this hybrid thing, but there's actually two types of hybrid. There's the plug-in hybrid or just the battery hybrid, which doesn't need to be can't be plugged in. It just charges off the engine.
So which one is best for home workers?
So home workers, I would say, because you're at home more, you can plug in. Fantastic to have a plug-in hybrid. If you're probably driving on the motorway a lot, then just get a diesel car.
Great tips, great advice. Stay on prem. Yeah. Okay, This is going downhill rapidly, Dean. No, it's not. So, right, let's move on again because I want to pick up on some of these other topic areas. So you got your first live speaking. When is that live speaking gig? I don't know how we digressed to cars, but we did. When is that live speaking gig happening?
It's the 28th in America. So it sort of starts at 9
so next week.
Time
next week, 28th of September.
Yeah, next Tuesday. It's in. I'm live about 4 o'clock, I think, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock.
Okay.
In the UK.
Awesome. Well, we'll look out for that. We'll find it on the Petri. Well, we'll follow your Twitter handle, and you'll probably tweet yourself out. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
There we are. There we go. All the best with the live speaking. Yeah, good. Yeah, well, absolutely, Dean. Good luck with it. And I know we have a laugh and a joke about things, but at the same time, like we said at the top of this show, it's been quite a journey for the both of us over the last set of months. And I think it's probably fair to say we've both learned a hell of a lot. We've both got ourselves into some really interesting places, doing some cool things and learning lots of new stuff. But look, I don't want to wrap it up just yet. I reckon we got a good 10 minutes or so left before we hit the top of the hour. But right, let's go back a little bit to kind of video production and doing things. What have you bought lately? Have you done anything cool? I mean, I've been up to a few bits and pieces we can chat around, but have you bought anything new for the office that has kind of helped you with live recording or anything like that?
I wouldn't say helped. So I got some new lights. I used to have just lights that were just white. And I bought them because I didn't want to buy a key light, the thing that's lighting up my face right now. I bought just some good office lights on like, the GU10 light. This is getting a bit technical, but I bought just lights that had a good high CRI, so good color reproduction, and thought that would help. But then they were lighting the back of my head, so the camera just showed my sort of really dark face with a very well lit room. So that didn't work at all. So then all my videos previous have been with those lights turned off, and I made my own key light, it's just like six LED strips attached to a plank of wood. I'll post a photo of it later, and it works really well because it's got different color temperatures and stuff. And I turn it on, it's there, and it lights my face around about all right. And I haven't really spent any money on it, so that's great. But as I say, I did just get some color changing GU10 lights for behind to just light up that background a bit purple at the moment. I can change them. So yeah, that was about £15, so like that. And the thing I'm staring at, I got a teleprompter as well. So I've been recording videos at work, and essentially recording more scripted videos for sales enablement and all that kind of stuff, where I actually want to have a topic to talk about that. And I don't want to spend hours editing it either. So when I record videos, I don't normally have a script, and this will have a script because I want to get a point across in those videos. And the thing about, I don't know if any of you have tried recording a video of yourself and staring at the camera, it is odd to stare at the camera. And if you have notes, I mean, I'm pointing, but my screen with the notes on is just here. Okay. So that there is the screen, and the notes are literally an inch underneath. And I thought what I could do is look at the camera and then just look down at the notes, and look at the camera and then look down. And just even that 1 inch of distance is really obvious that you're not looking at the camera. And you're just slightly looking off camera. So that's why teleprompters have been used in TV for such a long time, obviously, because you just can't look to the side of it at all. It really needs to be directly in the center. So I bought a teleprompter to see how that works. And since buying it, I've not actually had anything scripted to read. It was only a couple of days ago that it arrived. So I'll let you know how it goes. But I've tested it. It is really good. It does actually give you the chance to read this text that's on the screen. It's just a mirror in a dark box. It's nothing clever. It was less than £100. It wasn't incredible, but I think it will really help me do those videos where I have a point to get across. I can just read what I want to say, and I'm not even going to be reading it. It's just notes, just to jog your memory. I mean, on that point, I know you just speak on your videos because you have that ability to ad-lib much better than me. But I've been following John Saville, obviously, for a very long time on YouTube, and his videos are absolutely fantastic, and really trying to understand how he does that so well. He's obviously very, very talented at making videos and very good at speaking to camera. But he has notes to the side, and the more you sort of analyze what he does, he has just notes just off camera, but he is always thinking. Right, he's thinking of the next thing to say. So he's very animated. He's standing up for a start. It has a sort of a lecturer style to his videos, and he can sort of glance to the side, look like he's thinking, and he's reading notes. He's reading things to talk about next, and it's a fantastic way he does it. And I can't do that because obviously I'm staring at a single camera. So I really admire what John Saville's done.
Yeah, it's like the mix, isn't it? It's like the kind of extremes and the middle ground. You've got the idea of literally going it, freestyling it, which is pretty much, my style when I do videos, mainly because I just don't, I don't know, there's lots of reasons. Don't have the time to script it out, don't necessarily know what I'm going to be talking about, so you kind of jump from one thing to the other, especially when you're doing it in conversation with these kinds of chats, is that you almost don't want that scripted. You want to be able to kind of just almost warts and all, get to know a little bit of the human side of the person. And I'm speaking now as you're staggering because your Starlink's going across again. But but things like that, taking notes off the side, I'm with you. Even doing the introductions that I do, I have a notepad file. Just I look off to the camera at the side, which is my other camera. My Elgato face cam, no sponsor here. So I kind of put that just under. But you can absolutely see that I'm reading notes, and it's like, so when you said that you bought one, I know, you're gonna let me know how you get on, because I think I might do the same thing, purely because I've not really bought a huge amount off Amazon lately. Oh, tell a lie, I bought some backlights. There we go. I bought some.
Did you? Go on then.
I did buy some backlights.
Were they on Amazon? I saw you do them. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I saw you. I unshared my screen by accident. Sorry. Yeah, I saw you mentioned it on.
They're
Twitter.
only little. I mean, look, this goes against the grain for me, because all my lights in here are all either Alexa'd or they're on my Stream Deck. But these,
Sure.
Well, to be honest, it was a bargain. Now, I think it was about £35-40 for a pair of these 40-watt LED color. Well, you've got a little. They're infrared. You have to use the control. So I just kind of set one blue, one red, and it kind of gives that color fill. I probably need to turn the brightness down on them a little bit, but yeah, I got those. But yeah, I think that the teleprompter is probably not far off another purchase. Oh, and a Rode Wireless Go 2 microphone. I was so close to clicking buy the other night, obviously because we got the Welsh Azure user group coming up next week. I was thinking that would be the ideal. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and yeah, the other thing I've been playing about with. I mean, this is probably a nice point to end, really, unless you've got anything else to talk about. But how do we? Well,
I had another hour of content actually. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it's fine. Thank you.
Well, it's all right. I mean, I can do the remainder of this show as a cartoon, John.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, any requests?
Can you be a shark?
A shark?
Yeah.
Shark. Let me search for shark. So I'm now searching.
That is spooky.
I can. Maybe not that shark. What about happy shark?
No, that's better, actually, yeah. In fact,
there we go.
I think you should do all of them like that. How are you moving the entire shark body? Obviously you're not moving. Yeah, it's not attached to your body.
It's just. You can even see I'm looking down at my Stream Deck.
But you do that a lot, don't you? That's pretty much a constant feature in all of your video. You mentioned it was a good point to end. I think you might be right.
I really need one more request, Dean, because I like the way that went then. What else can I search for?
Oh, I see. A cat. Didn't someone? There was a big thing about Zoom where this was it a lawyer or someone going to court did appeared as a cat for the entire proceedings or something, and they couldn't turn it off.
Yes. Yeah, see
that.
I did see that. Yeah, so I can be a tiger potato. Oh dear. Wow. I don't know what this is.
I'm lost for words, really.
I don't know quite why I've got steam coming off my head.
Nice.
There we go. I'm now a tiger.
You mentioned this is going downhill quickly. I think we're at the bottom.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's end it there then, Mr. Ellerby. It's been a huge show. God. Yeah, sorry, Rob. Apologies, everyone. I just, it's just little things. I think, you find these things. I'm just clicking through now and just, I want to click on that one. I want a pink cowboy hat, so I'm going to give myself a pink cowboy hat to end this off. No, not really. Anyway, right, let's end it there then, shall we?
I think so, yeah. I mean, this is probably the only in-convo with where you can get away with doing that for the last 5 minutes. So, yeah, it has been a pleasure, and thank you for having me on again.
No, absolutely. It's normally me that says stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for coming on, Dean.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, I've lost my train of thought because I was a potato a minute ago. It's quite unusual how that throws you. I could be Shrek. Dean, I'm looking at an image of Shrek.
Go on, click it. End the show with Shrek. That is the worst Shrek I've ever seen.
That is a terrible Shrek.
Do
you know one that I actually did find?
No.
That was quite. I thought quite good. for Halloween. Not that one. This one. I thought that was quite a good one. I could end as the Joker.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
Let's
let's do that.
I thought that's quite a good filter. So,
let's do that.
Bear, hang on a minute. Hang on. We got requests coming in on chat now.
Oh,
Bear.
Dear.
Oh God, there's. Do you know what? I'm not going to click on that one. That
You're
looks
not?
very close to the mark. No.
Okay.
I'm going to use the word grizzly. Oh,
I can't imagine that's going to get any better.
Okay, there we are. I'm a bear.
Thank you, Indiana Jones, for the request. That has made my day.
Right,
yeah.
That's the end of that then. Right, Dean, thanks for coming on again. Everybody go and sign up, obviously, the Cloud Management user group and follow the team over there. Get on the live shows that Dean and the guys have got organised and that are coming up fairly soon. Dean, it's been a pleasure. I've got to click my Stream Deck now to find the button that I need to end the stream with. So let's call it. Speak to you soon. Thanks for coming on, Dean.
Bye.
Bye for now.